Can you name the days of the week in order? Now, how about naming them in alphabetical order? It's not so easy, is it? It's not so easy to change the order of something that we think we know. At first, you might have said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe you started on Sunday and then went to Monday. And when I suggested alphabetical order, well, it takes a bit of a mental stretch to begin with Friday and then move to Monday. It's a mental stretch to see the possibilities of a different order. If we look at the Gospel of Luke's reading today, it's a stretch that is being given to us, a mental stretch, a spiritual stretch, and a political stretch, a really big stretch. The people of the day longed for God to appear and to put things right. People were oppressed. Caesar had claimed his place as the Son of God, and people of faith knew that was not true. The people longed for God, and they longed for God's strength. And here's our story. Luke is writing an orderly account of all that has happened. He began with the story of Zechariah, an elderly priest who, with advanced in years wife Elizabeth, will have a child who they will name John. The news is shared when Zechariah is visited by the angel Gabriel, and really the news is a shock. Zechariah's doubt leaves him silent for the duration of the pregnancy, and Gabriel disappears. In today's reading, 6 months have gone by. Gabriel is back, this time to visit Mary and to tell her the news that she will have a baby. Martin Payne and Jane Butcher comment, "What a surprising way for God to step into the world. Everyone longed for God to appear and put things right, but no one expected that it would involve a very ordinary young woman from an insignificant village in the poor north of a powerless country in the Middle East. God, who is called the Most High by the angel, chooses to send Jesus as a vulnerable, tiny baby to be brought up by a peasant family. No wonder Mary is overwhelmed. Even the angel seems awed by what God is about to do as he addresses Mary as truly blessed." Luke gives us Zechariah and Elizabeth, now Mary, and soon John, and then Joseph, and finally Jesus in the good news of the reordering of the world. God is stretching us. When God is a child, there's joy in our song. The last shall be first, and the weak shall be strong, and none shall be afraid. Mary is truly blessed with the opportunity to answer yes to God's vision. God needs Mary's yes. God needs Zechariah and Elizabeth and John the Baptizer. God needs Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. God will need shepherds and angels and wise old people in the temple. God needs the human yes to reorder the world. In telling the story this way, Luke is ensuring that we see the start of the reordering and that we see the connection to all the stories before. We are connected to the yes of co-creation with the stories from Genesis. We are connected to the yes of the forebearers of faith who acted in faithfulness to God. We are connected. God needs our partnership in hope, peace, joy, and love. God needs our part too. The Bible is a collection of stories about God's connection to humanity. It is a vision of the world coming together, of turning oppressive systems upside down. It is the work of reordering. And the story from Luke asks us to stretch our understanding of the world, the mental and the spiritual and the political ordering, so Caesar is not first, to the new vision when God is a child. When God is a child, the last shall be first. The weak shall be strong, and none shall be afraid. It's not easy Just as naming the days of the week in a different order does not come without some thought, so does reordering the status quo. Imagine if everyone had a place to live. Imagine if everyone had enough food to eat. Imagine if everyone had clean water to drink. Imagine if everyone had access to vaccines. Imagine if everyone knew that they were a loved child of God. What sounds like the lyrics to a song by the Beatles is really a call to imagine the gospel lived out. Imagine a world for all. As winter surrounds us with its grip, let me tell you a story about how innovation turned a small tropical part of the world upside down with access to water for all. I've not been to Bermuda, but I've seen pictures. It's a beautiful and lush place, a vacation paradise for some. But as tourists might see vacation paradise, those who live in Bermuda know that it has hurricanes every year and it's chronically short of water. Bermuda, an island in the Atlantic, did not have a permanent population until the early 1600s. Early residents of the island discovered that building homes and roofs in particular out of wood was not a good option. The storms were fierce and wooden roofs no match. Residents turned their attention to what was in abundance around them, limestone. As they dug out foundations for their homes, they dug out materials used for building. And they developed this stepped roofing system which resisted the wind. And as a bonus, it collected water, and with wisdom and creativity, the water was directed to holding tanks, which meant that there was water for everyone. There's a newspaper, the Bermudian, and Peter Backberg reports that there are strict regulations in the building code that dictate both the water catching ratio of each roof, 80%, and the minimum tank size per roof area be set at 8 gallons per square foot. Amy Daniels, another writer, says, over generations, improvements have been made to both the way the roofs are finished and how captured water is stored. Historically, the lime-covered white roofs that go down like a child's Christmas tree also fortuitously had antibacterial properties, helping to clean the incoming rain. Even though the material composition has shifted, the standard roof is still white, reflecting UV rays and thus helping to purify the water and accidentally keeping the buildings cool. What innovation will we see here that can do something like that, that can address the need for everyone? How do we care for the least and the lost, who are really the first and the found? And how will the Advent candle of peace inspire us to live lives of hope and joy and love this season? May generosity be found. May love be transforming, and may all of us see in and for ourselves and in and for others God's amazing grace. Let us say yes and be partners with God. Thanks be to God, this day and always. Amen.